Last week we did a long discussion on how fast rods have hijacked the world of fly lines and all that, and we had a huge response. And so I'm going to go just a couple, I'm going to add on just a little bit more about it, because it's ironic that Johnny got me I'm not a big reader, which is funny. It's kind of a running joke in my family. I'm the only person that's written 3 books and never read one. But I'm trying to read more. And Johnny got me, for Christmas, got me The Dry Fly Code by Galloup. And I've read a lot of his stuff in the past. But what really struck me was that I started reading it after we filmed the thing about hijacking the lines. And I don't know what year he wrote the book, but I looked up, it was published, I think, in '90, which I found, and he was talking about how these fast rods and stiff monofilaments were ruining anglers, and how they were catching less fish because they've got these new high modulus fast rods. Now, for those of you that don't know, in 1988, 89, 90, the idea of fast modulus wasn't even half as fast as what you're dealing with today. So, and that's what struck me. It's funny because he had to be talking about, like, for, really mid-flexing rods by today's standards, and he was complaining that they were just too fast. The other thing he was talking about, and that's what I want to talk about today, what he was talking about was this new style of casting, and straight line casting he was talking about, and how we were teaching people to kind of look and deliver and straighten our fly out so we got a longer cast. And that's where it started. We started teaching people to straight line cast their fly out to get more distance. It was always about that perfect cast and more distance. And he was saying how these straight lines are detrimental to fishing, and nothing was about fishing then. It was about the cast. And that's what we were kind of ranting about last week or 2 weeks ago whenever I shot that. And that's what I want to talk about right now, because I got a ton of questions and just comments, and almost everybody was agreeing with, like, yeah, it's gone crazy. And I just want to go over something really quickly about that. I never go over anything quickly. Let's get that straight. I just want to go over the fact that what Gary said was so true. Because what we're doing is we're teaching people that if they cast further, somehow, if they go out just another 20 feet, they're going to catch this mythical fish that's out there because they know we're there. And it's total BS. If you stock up on the fish, because what they're forgetting on that long cast is that they have no control of their leader. Johnny and I were talking about this for a half hour, about control of the leader. The cast means nothing. I don't care how well you cast. If you can't control your leader, and all you can do is straighten the line out like that, you have no control. You're fishing. You simply have control of your cast, and you have control of your line. You should be thinking, do you have control over your leader? And so if you're accelerating your cast too hard and your line's straightening straight out like that, and there goes your fly, think about it. Now you have, and this is where we get lost in cast versus fishing. I just answered a question for somebody on the email about that. And they were asking if I could just get that extra 20 feet. And I said, no, wait a minute. No, you have to control this thing. You have to control the leader so that when you see it hit the water, you have to have some flexibility in that leader, some serpentine, something so it's not. If the leader is straight, we're talking dry flies for the most part. The only fly that really should straighten out is a streamer, because we hit the fly down and we retrieve it. We don't care about it. It's not drifting aimlessly like you want a dry fly to, where it's just supposed to look like it's a free floating insect. And so my point is to cast that out and have control of your leader. Can you truly tell yourself that at 50 feet you can see your leader? Do you have any clue? Because we're talking about pinpoint, throwing a fly out, having it deliver at 50 feet, and then then to do that at 50 feet, it's almost impossible to have the leader not straighten out. If you're successful, you would almost have to straighten that leader out. And that's the problem. If the leader's tight, if it's straight like this, now the leader's tight, the line's tight, and it's way the hell out there and gone. You can't see it. You barely see a grasshopper at 50 feet. And so there it is. But any current that touches your line, your leader, is dragging your fly. And that's what Gary was talking about. Straight line casting, no control. Newer monofilaments, too stiff. And the monofilaments of that day, of the 80s, were a lot less stiff than they are today, because everything's about getting that fly further out. So I want you to think from a fishing perspective, back to that thing, stalk more, cast less. Have control of your fly and your leader. So leader, not your fly. Your fly is either going to sit out there in front of you or it's not. And if your leader's as straight as an arrow like that, you have no control of your dry fly. The best dry fly anglers I know cast shorter than anything we've talked about. Johnny said he thinks the longest cast he ever got a big fish on was 35 feet. And that was on the Henry's Fork. That's a long cast on the Henry's Fork. And those fish are spooky, but you have all those microcurrents. It's still a long cast. On a faster river, oh my God, that's forever. We were sitting in here, and I kept saying, I think from here to there, and I said, that'd be a long cast out here. You measure it out, it's 15 feet, 17, 18 feet. And that's where I'd feel I'd have comfort over the control of my leader. So what I want you to think about when we, just carrying on that conversation, double tapers versus, weight forwards, straight line casting, distance casting. Everybody likes to throw a long line. It's fun, but really truly think, do you have control of your leader? Go out, do a couple casts in the yard. I don't care where you do it, on the pond, in the river, and see if you can move your leader. If you can control your leader to somehow pop it, to give an S in your leader, know you're controlling your fly, then you can do anything. If you can do that at 50 feet, it'd be the best I've ever seen. So, control the leader, try not for the straight line. If you're doing that, the likelihood of you needing to shoot line is really remote. I doubt you'll ever have to do it. And I think the more people that would practice controlling their leader, the more fish they'll catch. Just a rant. Hope that helps you out.